Mission accomplished. 5 different Flyers found their way onto the score sheet. The Orange and Black broke a third-period tie on their way to a rousing 5-2 victory. With the offense revived, the Flyers have now collected points in 5 consecutive games. They look to continue the forward momentum as they host the Buffalo Sabres. Coming up next. On Tuesday night, 3 Flyers lit the lamp for the first time this season. Sean Couturier did so. Adam Hall scored his first goal as a Flyer into the empty net. And Kimmo Timonen also got on the board. They look to add to their goal totals tonight. It's game 2 of this 3-game homestand for the Flyers. Their first of 3 meetings this season with the Buffalo Sabres. This one here at the Wells Fargo Center. And a pleasant good evening. Welcome to Flyers Hockey on Comcast Sportsnet. Along with Keith Jones, I'm Jim Jackson. Steve Coates joins us here in just a moment or two. And Jonesy, the Flyers hitting the quarter pole of their season. 20 games down now. And, of course, they started slowly, losing 7 of their first 8, but they've got it going right now.
And I think slow is the key word. They didn't skate well at the start of this season. The first 8 games, they struggled mightily. Just 1 win in the first 8. They've got their skating legs now. Craig Berube has worked them extremely hard in practice. They've responded. They've had great attitudes about it, and it's paying dividends on the ice. 7-3-2 in their last 12 games. They'll look to continue to build on the wins they've been getting of late.
You notice in particular the offensive numbers really up for the Flyers here of late. And several players that got off to slow starts in terms of points are now getting hot. 2 of them, Kimmo Timonen and Wayne Simmonds.
Kimmo Timonen was outstanding against the Ottawa Senators. Picked up a goal and 2 assists. He's moving well, making great decisions at the point, playing with Braden Coburn. For Wayne Simmonds, it's been pretty consistent start to the season in the work department. Now he's starting to get some bounces, points in 4 straight games, including this power play marker against the Winnipeg Jets. He's a big, strong guy. He's been good on the forecheck, playing with Braden Shen and Vincent Lecavalier, and does a nice job here against the Senators and spinning with that puck and beating Robin Leonard for an insurance marker against the Sens. Kimmo Timonen, outstanding at getting pucks through at the point, especially in power play situations. This opportunity leads to a Giroux goal. Good offensive zone pinch there, leads to Sean Couturier's first of the season, and then he gets his first goal himself as he steps in offensively and goes to the back end there and scores a huge game-winning goal against the Sens.
So good to see Kimmo getting his game together. I tell you what, the most consistent aspect of the Flyers game here in the early season has been goaltending. Steve Mason's been good, and so is this guy here of late, Ray Emery. He gets the start tonight.
Yeah, Mason gets the night off, a well-deserved rest, and Ray Emery, the last time we saw him, made 30 saves against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They only scored once. He made numerous saves against Sidney Crosby and allowed the Philadelphia Flyers to pick up an important 2-1 win in Pittsburgh. They'll try to build on that tonight at home.
Well, the opponents tonight, the Buffalo Sabres, have struggled. They've already changed coaches. They've gotten rid of their general manager and made many player changes, too. So, Steve Coates, Sabres just trying to find their rhythm now with Ted Nolan behind their bench.
And they're trying to score goals, and they got a couple of guys that can put the puck in the net in newcomer Matt Moulson and Cody Hodgson, who plays the middle on the line with Moulson. Hodgson right now leads the Buffalo Sabres in scoring. See, he was a former number 1 pick of the Vancouver Canucks, and Matt Moulson came over from the Islanders in that big trade for Thomas Vanek, and he has been red hot since becoming a Sabre. 9 points in 10 games. Moulson's the type of guy, he's a gift. He's got that gift. In other words, when he's around the net, he's going to score because he bears down and has that ability to be able to find that open net. For Hudson, well, he's a bit of a bull. He can go to the net. Not the biggest guy in the world. He's a great skater. He's a great stick handler, and he's got a lot of grit. So he's going to be in everybody's way all the time. Don't go away. Coming up, it's the Buffalo Sabres and the Philadelphia Flyers.
Tonight's Flyers-Sabres game is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By Wells Fargo. When you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. It was a night of firsts on Tuesday night at the Wells Fargo Center. 3 different Flyers lit the lamp for the first time this season. Sean Couturier, Kimmo Timonen, and finally Adam Hall, all happy to have the goose egg gone from the goal column in their stats. Opening face-off, Flyers-Sabres. 162nd regular season meeting between the Flyers and the Sabres. Flyers trying to make it 6 consecutive games with a point for the first time since December of 2011, so almost 2 full years.
Take a look at our key starting goaltenders for the Buffalo Sabres. It's Ryan Miller. The wins have not come easy for the Sabres, but their goaltender has been outstanding this year. You can see that save percentage, just 4-12 on the year, but it's a team that's not loaded with talent right now. The Sabres in a rebuild mode. Ray Emery gets a start again for the Philadelphia Flyers. He'll look to build on his win against the Penguins about a week ago.
Ryan Miller won a Hobey Baker Award, a Vezina, and has been a top player in the Olympics. But what he wants is a Stanley Cup, and he has a big decision coming up as his contract runs out after this year, and he understands the Sabres are a bit away from that last goal we talked about. Flyer line combinations at the top of your screen. They're wearing their home orange jerseys, road whites for the Sabres. Flyers after the puck deep in the Buffalo zone, chopping away at it. Brayden Schenn was in there, as was Wayne Simmons. Now it bounces free. Marcus Foligno checked in the corner, and the Flyers getting very aggressive in the forecheck here in the very first shift. This is something that Craig Berube wants to see in this game. Work that defense of the Sabres down low. Sabre combinations out the top of your screen, down low. Here's LeCavalier, waits. Miller's down, and LeCavalier hit him in the back with it. The puck comes back out, and here is Grossman sending it across ice. Well, a lot of patience from LeCavalier for sure, but he just couldn't get it past Miller. The puck deflecting out of play, or actually went out of play on its own, and the faceoff will go out to center ice.
It's an outstanding play by Brayden Schenn and Mark Streit at the offensive blue line that opened up the space for LeCavalier to find that puck. There's the play by Streit. Backhand pass. Schenn covers up for him and gets it through to LeCavalier. He's looking late here to try to find Schenn on the other way, and then quickly fired it off the back of Ryan Miller when he ran out of options.
Give Miller a lot of credit for being able to take that space away. He just kept crawling, and I mean crawling, towards LeCavalier.
He's a very competitive goaltender, does not give up on the puck, and one of the reasons why he's been so good and has the hardware we told you about earlier. Sabres moving up here as they'll get the puck into the Philadelphia zone. That was Luke Adam playing his first game as a Sabre this year, just up from the American Hockey League. Claude Giroux moving back, chopped that from behind by the Sabres, and the checking done there by Drew Stafford knocks the puck away. Flyers will change here as the Sabres look to move up. Sabres have lost 2 straight, 8 of their last 11, just 5 wins on the year at 5-17-1. 1 win under their belt since Ted Nolan took over as coach, and 2 losses. Replaced Ron Ralston, who of course had replaced Lindy Ruff, who had been the head coach of the Sabres for so long. Carsten Gear is out as their general manager. They do not have a general manager as we speak. There's a shot toward the Philadelphia net, cut off. Horrendous after the puck, bounces back out to McBain, and then his pass off the skate of Cody Hodgson and down the ice. Flyers will change again. Quick shifts by the Flyers here early on, just over 2 minutes in. Here's a steal by Zach Rinaldo. He waits, and then as he went to take the shot, Hodgson was able to get his stick in there and knock the puck away. Ennis tries to clear, couldn't get it out. Here's Rosa. Nice move. His shot, no block. And the Sabres have it. Gus Girgensons moving the puck to center and check there, and Nick Grossman will take over.
Flyers very quick to get on the Buffalo Sabres. Ronaldo was good there in the offensive zone. We saw good defensive zone work by Adam Hall and Matt Reed in the neutral zone as Ronaldo throws the body around.
And that check may have caused a delay of game penalty. We'll see as Henrik Tallinder sent that puck up and out of play, and I think a penalty has been called.
Yeah, Ted Nolan, the new head coach of the Buffalo Sabres, was there before in the mid-1990s. The likes of Rob Ray, Barnaby, running around on the ice for him, and right now he's got his team short-handed here as Tallinder flips that puck up and over the glass. The Flyers had 3 delay of game penalties of their own in their previous game against Ottawa, and Buffalo picks one up here to start the game.
Well, the Flyers hoping to get those back here tonight. Kristen Russell hoping that the Flyers can put $100 in her pocket as part of the McDonald's power play payoff. The Flyers power play has been hot of late, as they have a power play goal in 4 consecutive games. 5 for 12 over that stretch. Have to climb from near the bottom. First, the power play got off to a slow start, but they're up to a tie for 23rd. Sabres in the same position in the penalty kill. Here's Giroux dancing on in. Giroux shot off the post. Off the post. And out to center ice it goes.
That's the slingshot. They like to bring him late. He's hitting the blue line with full speed. And when he wants to go, he can go and take that shot like he did.
He's got it again. Now back out to Timonen. Back to Giroux. All the way across ice. The shot. Miller the save on Voracek. And no further play.
Some outstanding puck movement by the Flyers there, and it all started with Claude Giroux blowing through the neutral zone and firing that quick shot past the stick of Ehrhoff and off the goalpost right there.
And we talked about the other night, east west, as we look ahead at that great shot by Giroux. He tried to get Miller going one way, and then all of a sudden he came back the other way and banged it off the post. Then another opportunity going dot to dot on that power play.
They have the puck back, working down low on the power play with that pass from Schenn cross ice. Went on through. Sprite will go across. The Flyers again with puck possession. Sprite center point. Gives to Couturier. Puck got away from him. He'll shuttle it around for Schenn. Schenn to Cavalier. And now out to Sprite. And to Vinny across to Couturier. His shot blocked. Second try. He decides to throw it in along the board. Downey then checked by Tyler Myers, the big defenseman. The Calder Trophy winner, easy for me to say, who has struggled his last several years. Myers moves the puck. The Cavalier shot! Miller denies that one. Sprite to the puck. Mark Sprite holding on. Down low, they center it. Downey looking for that puck to settle. It never did. And it's cleared all the way down by Cody McCormick. 20 seconds remain on the power play. The Cavalier touch pass to Schenn. He dropped it back, but nobody got it for the Flyers. And Steve Ott will clear. Time to begin one more rush with this power play. Braden Coburn does the honors and drops the puck off to Giroux. Ahead to Voracek. Voracek back to Giroux, and they're offside at the Buffalo line. We'll look at our virtuous scratches. Both teams completely healthy. Hard to believe. You don't see that very often when two teams have no players on the injured list. The Flyers, of course, have their two long-term injured players in Pronger and Bordeaux. But outside of that, Craig Berube's team is healthy. Raffl is back from the flu, but unable to get back in the lineup.
And Craig Berube has to be happy the way the power play snapped that puck around there. Some good offensive zone pressure. A couple of prime scoring chances, including the goal post by Claude Giroux. But it looked like a confident group out there as they continue to play well.
Giroux ahead to Voracek. Voracek right back to Giroux in the slot. Hartnell, and he fanned on it. And off his stick to the boards. He's after it again. It bounces into the corner. And now Voracek trying to one-hand that one into the slot. Hodgson intercepted. He got it to Tyler Ennis, who has goals in each of his last two games. Very talented player. Not very big, but he can get some things done with his skill. Jurgensen will pump it deeper into the Philadelphia zone. There is Nick Grossman tied up. Still able to maneuver the puck to Voracek. Voracek finds Hartnell. Hartnell moving up with Giroux, but they're tightly marked. Hartnell pumps it in, and Giroux goes and gets it. But he is surrounded by white jerseys, so he'll just leave it behind the goal line and head off on the change. 5.5 minutes in, no score. Flyers have outshot the Sabres 4-1 here in the early going. Hodgson winds it in. Emery will play it back to Rosehill. Rosehill ahead. Adam Hall couldn't get that puck deep, and now he's offside as he touches the puck.
Craig Berube rolling all four lines here early. Adam Hall back out on the ice here with the fourth line. It's been a very active and productive job by the fourth line, and when you're playing all four, you expect jump in the skating legs, and they've had that. They've been all over the Buffalo Sabres in the early going. Vinny Lecavalier with that opportunity. Ryan Miller did an outstanding job of cutting down the angle. Jump on this puck by Zach Rinaldo on the fourth line there, generating some offensive zone pressure, and Matt Reed's line also doing some good work in the neutral zone. So lots of good stuff early here from the Flyers.
You certainly want to jump on the Sabres. They have some incredible first period numbers going in the wrong direction if you're a Sabres fan. That puck into the Philadelphia bench.
Well, Santa Sacks, the Ultimate Flyers gift pack, are on sale now. Packages include 2 tickets to a Flyers game of your choice, an autographed puck, tickets to Adirondack Phantom games in Philadelphia, a 2014 calendar, and more. Those autographed pucks are a big seller when it comes to the kids opening them up under those Christmas trees.
Without question. In fact, adults as well like those signed items.
Yep.
As we mentioned, 4 of the first 5 shots in this game belong to the Flyers. Sabres have made a habit of being outplayed in the first period. Look out here, though, as they center it. Stafford sent that one through the slot, and now Voracek races to the puck and moves up, spins as he's being checked by Mikhail Grigorenko. Interesting story there. He was sent down. The Sabres tried to get him to the AHL on a conditioning assignment. The NHL wouldn't allow it. He is underage for the AHL at 19. Coburn shot and hit his skate in front, and then Luke Adam gets to it. So Grigorenko went to Rochester. He drove down there and then got word that he couldn't play for the Amerks. So he came back up, and after being scratched the last 3 games, he finds himself in the lineup. And the joke is, it was a heck of a conditioning assignment.
Yeah, the drive itself, right?
Yes. Claude Giroux will drop the puck back to Braden Coburn. There's a turnover, and they say it's onside. Leno cutting on in, the pass, and Scott could not handle that pass. He was one-on-one with Emery if he could, but puck handling not his forte.
Had a little bit of air on it. Leno had the right idea, dropped the shoulder and wanted to go over to Scott, but the puck was up in the air just a little bit.
The Sabres coming back in. Billy Leno, the former Flyer, to the cross ice. That point shot deflected, save Emery. Scott got his stick on that shot, and Emery had to make the save, and now he gathers the rebound at the side of the net. No score here in the first. Fly at Mercy University game notes. Marty St. Louis hitting 1,000 games. Roger Nielsen will get another honor. We'll tell you about that. And Jaromir Jagr continues his climb. Marty St. Louis played in his 1,000th game. Jonesy, 933 points in those 1,000 games. Not bad.
Not bad for an undrafted player. Outstanding career for Marty St. Louis. There's one of my favorite coaches of all time, Roger Nielsen. Very great that he's going to have the press box attributed to him.
We'll be there for it.
Nice. And then Jaromir Jagr comes up with another goal here against the Anaheim Ducks. He's done that a few times in his career.
That one came with just over a minute to play, tied the game. They won in overtime, and Jagr a goal shy of his former teammate Mario Lemieux for 9th all-time in goals. And he's off to a tremendous start. As great as he is, I think a lot of people thought that maybe he had overstayed his welcome in the NHL by a year by coming back this year. Well, he's saying absolutely not. He's been perhaps the Devils' best player so far.
He has, and they're finding ways to win games again. 5-1-1 in their last 7, and so much of it has to do with Jagr. As you can see, the names ahead of him on that list, but no question he has earned every one of those goals.
He and Solani playing each other last night. Most goals for 2 players going against one another in the NHL since 2 guys by the name of Messier and Hull. Brett Hull played each other way back when, I believe the mid-90s. Here's Timonen starting up. Flyers started the game with a lot of momentum. Sabres have had a couple of good shifts in a row now, so the Flyers want to try to get that momentum back. Flyers back to get the puck here. Craig Berube was asked today after the morning skate whether his team might be overconfident playing the Sabres, and he said, have you checked the standings? We're not in a playoff spot right now. Vinny Lecavalier is going to get a penalty here as he grabbed the defenseman, Braden McNabb, on the way in. Put his arm around him, and as a result, he'll go to the box, and the Sabres will get their first power play of the game.
Vinny Lecavalier just trying to get past McNabb here. Got a little too much of him and spun him with that free hand there. It's an easy call for the referee, and the Flyers will be shorthanded.
That one's a little too obvious. Really doesn't need to do that. Obviously, you just want to pull on him a little bit, maybe just hold him up, but he got a bit too aggressive. And Vinny hits the penalty box, and the Sabres will get their first power play of the game.
Most everything's been good for the Flyers in their last 5 games. 4-0-1. One thing, though, Craig Berube's not been happy with, too much time spent in the penalty box from unnecessary penalties, and that, unfortunately, would qualify as an unnecessary penalty.
The offensive zone penalties drive head coaches nuts.
There are the numbers. The Flyers' penalty kill started the season well, has hit a bit of a dip here of late. They have allowed 6 power play goals in the last 5 games. One was whistling through the sliders. Hall, a chance to clear, and he does, out to the neutral zone.
Adam Hall's done a great job penalty killing, and boy, what a face-off guy. He's been of late 63% now on the season. That's so important on the penalty kill.
Yeah, he's the best in the National Hockey League in the month of November on draws, over 70% in the month of November. A puck off a stick high in the air. McBain will throw it around down low. Matt Molson couldn't come up with it. Coburn does on the backhand, and he'll clear it all the way down. Halfway through this Buffalo man advantage. Sabres just 3 for 33 on the road with their power play. Less than 10%. Mad just up from the minors with a pass to Billy Leno, and now it's Tyler Myers. Myers moves center point, couldn't get a shooting lane, deals to Leno. Right back to Myers, leans into one, and a save made by Emery. It may have been deflected in front as well. Not sure if it got all the way through.
Stafford got a piece of it on the way in, Jimmy.
Just not sure if it ever got all the way to Emery, Coatsy, but
went the other side.
Either way, it stayed out. Here's Myers holding on and then dropping it back. McNabb right back to Myers. Backhander, save Emery. Rebound right out in front. Still loose. Taken behind that by Stafford. Tried to center, blocked by Grossman. And that was a big play there because Leno was lurking, and now Myers has to take the puck to center ice. Tyler Myers, 6 foot 8 inches. We're off to a great start for the struggle. Out of the boxes of Cavalier, but Couturier couldn't find him with that pass, and it becomes icing. So the face-off back into the Philadelphia zone. Get Philly sports news and scores when you're on the go. Be the first to know the latest on all of your Philly teams right from your smartphone. Download the free CSN Philly Sports app now. Off the face-off to the right of Emery. Couturier strong along the wall, but also hanging right in there and battling with him for the Sabres was Tallinder, the defenseman. You see Couturier lose that kind of battle very often along the boards. Grossman kicks the puck to Streit. Now it's Streit shoveling the puck out to the center ice area, and down the ice it goes. 7 shots for the Flyers and 4 for the Sabres through almost 11 minutes of play. Hartnell takes a hit. Grigorenko. Now the Flyers will wheel the puck all the way down the ice. This is going to be another icing. They've lost their rhythm a bit here after a good start. Face-off again comes back to the Philadelphia zone.
Yeah, they started rolling early in this one and had plenty of opportunities. Ryan Miller made a couple of key saves and had some help from the goalpost on a Claude Giroux attempt. But the Flyers looking to sort things out here. You can see the communication going on the bench, and it won't be lost on them how they generated those early chances.
That fires that one. It bounces off the end wall back out in front, but the Flyers have it. Here's Hartnell the other way. Rink wide feed for Voracek. Voracek checked and out to center ice. Gustafsson back to handle for Philadelphia. Wide, Voracek. Cross ice passing there, and the last effort off a stick it into the crowd. Still no score. Scoreless here in the first period. Flyers and Sabres. Let's go down ice level inside the glass to the one, the only, Steve Coates.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. A very historic night here against the Buffalo Sabres. It's the first time in the history of the NHL where two coaches, First Nation coaches, members of the First Nation, Teddy Nolan on the left and Craig Berube on the right, as you can see them shaking hands today. And it's the first time ever in the history of the league that two coaches have faced each other with that kind of heritage. The man on the left is Aiden Ojibwe from Ontario, and Mr. Berube has Cree in him from Western Canada.
And Ted Nolan, not pulling any punches, says it really means a lot to a lot of people, and hoping it shows the youth that they can succeed in the NHL. There's a shot, Emery the save off of Hodgson. Braden Shed will move ahead. He is hit hard as he dumps the puck in from the red line, and the Sabres get it back. Jurgensen's clear, bounces high in the air. Simmons looking for it in center. Sabres get there. Grossman finishes Ennis, but Hodgson carries on with the puck. Holds on and then fires through a screen. And a save made by Emery. Sabres had the better of the play since the power play, and as Jonesy mentioned, Flyers just trying to get their rhythm back. Came out playing very well, and Jonesy, you've heard it said in all sports, sometimes when things come easily early on, that you can fall into a bad pattern, and Flyers have to avoid that.
And the one way you avoid is by getting pucks in deep, taking hits to make plays, and right now Craig Berube's got his fourth line out there to try to get things stirred up.
Sabres doing a better job of getting out of their own zone. They're really stretching the ice, bringing the forwards back out to the neutral zone.
There's Leno. Back to Myers. He'll wind and fire, and that's blocked in front. Rosehill will play it to the corner. Rosehill finishes his check on McCormick. And Nick Grossman for Philadelphia all the way across. Could not be handled by Ronaldo. Now Zach trying to get it back. He takes down McCormick. Sabres bench calling for a penalty there. They won't get it. Myers with a pass and center, obfuscated into the Philadelphia zone. Sabres have been outscored. And I'm getting this right, Jonesy. 31-4 in the first period.
Wow.
So the Flyers want to take advantage of that. Yeah, it's still 7 minutes to do so, but got to start putting pressure on Buffalo in their zone. McBain a pass. Steve Ott, acting captain now for the Sabres, will get that one ahead, and now Molson flips it in on Emery, and he will hang on. Power back rehabilitation flashback brings you back to Tuesday night when Nick Grossman played goaltender. It was the turning point of the game.
It was tied at 2 when Kyle Turris got that opportunity. I don't imagine Turris slept very well that night after getting robbed by the skates of Nick Grossman there. They reviewed it for a considerable amount of time, and shortly after that, the Flyers got a goal from Kimmo Timonen, another one from Wayne Simmonds, and had a 5-2 victory before they knew it.
Off the draw shot by Stafford is blocked, but kept in the zone by McBain until he's checked by Hartnell. Flips it across ice. Flyers trying a lot of long cross ice passes. Voracek will get the puck back here. Again, cross ice. This one makes its way to Giroux. Giroux holds. Back across for Voracek. Off his stick to the corner. And Ruby's talked about the Flyers being a good north-south team here of late. They've been a little too much east-west here in this one. That puck dribbles just wide of the Flyer net. Stafford down to the other corner, and Voracek has it again. A long cross-ice pass. It is tipped by Giroux. McNabb gets it, and now it's Stafford in across the Philadelphia line. His pass will not be handled. Goes back to Stafford for a shot. Glove save, Emery, and he will hang on.
Calmly snaring that puck as the Buffalo Sabres continue to carry the play here over the last 5 minutes. Drew Stafford, who's a terrific wrist shot. When he heats up, he can be a tremendously productive player, but he has not been off to a great start for the Buffalo Sabres. But there's the quick release there and the save by Emery.
That's a heck of a play by Emery, because you can see that there's a lot of traffic heading towards the goal. Now Stafford's almost going to get that puck, and it's the quick release. It's the key right there, and Emery was right there to be equal.
Stafford now 59 shots in the season. He leads the Sabres. Here's Couturier. He's held. There'll be a penalty. He couldn't get to that puck as Miller comes out to play it. He didn't have possession of it, so it's not a penalty shot, but holding the call, and the Flyers with a power play when we return.
Sean Couturier is going to get his first goal the other night, and tonight he's right up on top of those skates, and right here you figure, okay, maybe that's a penalty shot. I thought it was, but no, they did not call it a penalty shot. And right there you see Cody Hodgson in the box. Power play, second one for the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. That's why I love the enthusiasm right now that Couturier is showing.
Probably didn't have possession enough there for the penalty shot, Coach. That's probably what they were thinking. He pushed the puck ahead of him, and he couldn't catch up to it because of the hold.
Rob Ray told me he thought I was doing a little bit too much refereeing.
Imagine Rob Ray saying that. Here's Timonen to Voracek. Voracek looking things over and dealing it for Simmonds, who couldn't handle it behind the net. Hartnell ridden. They got it back to Simmonds. Sabres swarming to the puck, outnumbered the Flyers along the wall. Now the Flyers get it back. Here's Timonen to Giroux, off the wall with it. Giroux's pass across ice, Voracek, and that shot blocked. Simmonds spinning it along the wall. Giroux able to handle. In the slot, Hartnell shot, and Miller able to make the save. Giroux gets it back, player down for the Sabres. Hartnell with the pass, Voracek the shot, Miller the save, and play stopped. Ott was shaken up, and there you see he's obviously in a lot of pain.
Got hit by the follow-through of Scott Hartnell's shot from the slot there. It was a nice feed from Claude Giroux. Hartnell took the quick shot. Miller makes the save, but watch the follow-through of Hartnell's stick right there and catches Steve Ott. So the Flyers got a second opportunity. While Ott was down, they went to work on it. There's a second look at the tap to the face.
Yeah, it becomes a two-man advantage as soon as Ott goes down right here, and the Flyers took advantage with a couple of good opportunities. But no matter how light those sticks are, you get a whipping action like that, that is going to hurt.
Not getting some attention. The Sabres win the draw. A good pinch, though, by Reed. The Flyers get the puck back. Downey give to Cavalier along the wall. Now they'll get it back out to Streit. Streit for Reed. Right back to Streit. Now Cavalier, one-time shot, and it hit his stick and then went wide. Weber behind the net. Did not clear. Schenn to Lecavalier, and now Streit. 45 seconds in the power play. Lecavalier shot. That was blocked. And McCormick dragged down. The puck goes out of play. And it will be a penalty. Flyers are going to get some two-man advantage time. They might have gotten a break here because Lecavalier might have hauled a man down and gotten away with it.
Boy, we've seen a lot of these lately. As McCormick's doing a great job, you got to give him a lot of credit for the effort. But all of a sudden, he's going to dive, go to his knees, and then all of a sudden just swoop that puck or sweep right there, and you can see that he's looking, and then all the Philadelphia Flyers are pointing towards the area over the glass. So the penalty again to the Buffalo Sabres, 5-on-3 situation for the Flyers.
So, big opportunity. The McDonald's power play payoff contestant. The Flyers unable to win the draw on the 5-on-3. That will waste some big time off the two-man advantage. Half-minute remaining on the first penalty as the Flyers get the puck back in. Hartnell into some traffic. And they move the puck to Giroux. Now it's Timonen. And they are set up. Giroux rotating out, back across ice, and deflected a couple times on its way to Lecavalier. Linder calmly gets it to Myers, and he'll float it all the way down, and that will just about take advantage of the 5-on-3. Giroux at his own line. The pass ahead to Lecavalier. Takes a look, and then back out to Streit. Streit to Timonen. He's checked from the man out of the box. Giroux's pass goes off a skate and then through Hartnell into the corner. Lecavalier has it out to Timonen. He deals it to Giroux. 5-on-4 now. Passing the slot. Lecavalier didn't get all that shot, and Miller took care of it. And now a penalty. And Mark Streit is guilty of high sticking, and he will go to the box, and the Flyers' power play time is over.
Looks like he caught Christian Ehrhoff as Mark Streit jumping down on the play. Was the shot by Lecavalier, and there's the kind of cross check to the chin or Adam's apple of Christian Ehrhoff.
Your penalty, number 32, 2 minutes, high stick.
John McIsaac and Mark Jeanette, the referees in this game tonight. So 4-on-4 hockey for the time being, and in 59 seconds the Sabres will get a power play. And the Sabres win the draw. Nab a shot that's stopped by Emery, and he'll keep it in play, flipping it to Reed. Reed for Couturier. And after deking around one, he'll start up. Couturier went across the Buffalo line. Couturier holding on, but not looking for the shot. He'll get it back to Gustafsson. Lost to Luke Schenn, and he has it blocked and knocked out the center. He is able to recover and play it back in. Couturier couldn't touch it. Would have been offside. Now he has retouched the blue line, so he's in play and no whistle. McBain, the former Hurricane, with a pass off his teammate's skate back into the Buffalo zone. 16 seconds. The Sabres go to the power play. Nab to McBain. Now it's Ville Leino. Sabres content to just hold on to the puck until they get the man advantage, and then they'll move ahead as McCormick is poised to leave the box. McBain will wind it in. Hall is there, and he'll send it all the way down. Nearly too many men on the ice for the Sabres. Puck was played by a player right off the benches. The other guys were just getting there. Good job by Giroux to steal the puck here. Giroux back to the Buffalo zone. Holds on, and shot handled easily by Miller. And the Sabres charge out. 40 seconds of power play time available to them. Stafford holding on, trying to center one off of Grossman and then the side of the net. Myers flips it, bounces to Grossman against the side of the net. They'll play it to the board. Giroux is there, couldn't clear. Bounces back to Stafford. Stafford to Myers. Myers to Ehrhoff. Christian Ehrhoff in his third year as a Sabre after career San Jose to Leino, and now down low. Ennis jams at it, bounces high in the air, loose puck. Giroux knocked down the puck back out to Ehrhoff for a shot. Save Emery, and the rebound jammed up and rewind. Another shot goes off of a player wide of the net. As Ennis got that one off. Now Ennis again a shot, and it's not in yet, and now it is. They score. Flyers just couldn't find the puck. Finally, it made its way across the goal line. Myers was in there. Several other Sabres as well. We'll have to wait and see who gets credit for this one. But the Sabres are on the board. It's 1-0.
A ton of chances for the Sabres as they kept jamming towards Ray Emery. It was Tyler Ennis that threw the puck towards Emery. It looked like it went up and behind Emery, and then Myers was in there digging away from it. The point shot started it, and then the Sabres went to work down low in the offensive zone. There's Tyler Ennis spinning it back towards the net. Drew Stafford tracking it down, gets it back over to Ennis, and then there you see it go off the pipe, but Ville Leino and Tyler Myers both battling for that loose puck. I'm not sure which guy got it in the net.
I think it was Leino. The puck's going to come right back out. Leino's going to be the guy right here, and he's going to knock it. Well, actually, it sat right on the goal line, and Myers did get it from the first angle, but Leino kind of fanned on it. So when he fanned on it, then it mattered. Myers was right there to be able to bang out that rebound.
You'll see the inside stick here after Leno's stick right there. Hit the skate of Emery, then that is Myers' stick. I believe jamming it in. So the big defenseman should get credit for the goal.
Won't take him long to look at this one, and the goal signal is right there. So it looks like Myers will get credit. And Billy Leno may still think he got that one because he had such a prime scoring chance, but Tyler Myers was there to clean up the mess.
That's a couple of times now, Jonesy, the last 2 games we've seen guys right there in front, and it just proves when you're in close like that, you got to bury it. We saw it the other night with Turris, and we just saw it right there with Leno.
The Flyers penalty kill, which was very good for a long stretch, has really struggled here of late. Here's Lecavalier trying to get the goal right back. A shot! And Miller got a piece of it to deflect it to the corner. And the Sabres have it, a 3-on-2. Foligno with a pass. And now it's flipped back to Foligno. Tried to center, but that one knocked aside. Foligno in on a rush. Got him the puck, but the Flyers now have it again. Back and forth we go. Braden Shen holding, waiting, around one man, and sandwich and knocked to the ice. And the puck deflects to the corner. Into the final minute of this first period. They're holding on to the puck. And as a free agent came over from New Jersey, of course, was a Sabre before, was the defense partner of Tyler Myers his Calder Trophy winning year. Hoping he'll bring stability and get Myers back to that kind of play again this year. Here's Reed. Got him as he tried to cut to the slot. And now Stafford the other way. Luke Adam couldn't get to that. Coburn jams it back into the Sabres zone. Leader ahead, intercepted by the Flyers, and Downey will fling deep to Buffalo ice. Couturier after it, and Fane is there first. And now it's chopped by Stafford all the way down the ice. They wave off icing. Rule Coburn could have gotten to that. And the final seconds tick off the clock. For the first time this season, the Buffalo Sabres lead after the first period. Tyler Myers gets the goal. It's 1-0 Sabres after 20 minutes of play. Tonight's Flyers Sabres first period was brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. By Powerback Rehabilitation. And by Supercuts. Check out supercuts.com to find a convenient salon location near you. Rock the cuts at Supercuts. John Bork and Rick Tocchet will dissect that first period that started well for the Flyers, but then the Sabres exerted themselves. The Sabres end up with a lead. We'll also hear from that guy we all know as JR. Yeah, he'll visit us here in the booth. Look what the wind blew in. Jeremy Roenick is in the house, folks.
Great to see you guys, man.
Great to see you. Group hug. There we go. JR, great to see you here. You've been touring the building.
You know, every time I get back to Philly is a treat for me. Coming over that bridge, I get tingles, you know. And then you get into the building and the fans and all the guys that have worked here for so many years that I've been such good friends with. I love this place, man.
Yeah, well, and this place loves you back. I mean, you became such a fan favorite here. What's the one memory that you have from your time in Philadelphia?
I don't know if there's one. I mean, if there's one memory, it's obviously one of the worst ones when I broke my jaw. I mean, it was. I mean, but the biggest memory for me was scoring the goal against Toronto.
Yes.
You know, scoring that overtime goal and knocking Toronto out, taking us into the semifinals was one of the biggest thrills for me in my career. Actually, here in Philly is one of the things that I wish was changed in my career. I played here for 3 years. I wish I would have played here for the rest of my career when I was here. It would have been a great finish, one of the best ownerships, one of the best teams I've ever played for. Like I said, this is a very special place for me in my heart.
You saw that. We still see Roenick jerseys in the house.
Oh, yeah, lots.
I love him.
He is remembered. And, you know, Jerry, you look at the current Flyers. What do you think of this club? They obviously started slowly. They've been getting it going here of late.
They did, but, you know, and Jonesy and I have been talking about them a lot. I think this is a team that's starting to find their groove a little bit. They go through, obviously, a coaching change, which is never easy for any team to go through. And I think a little identity crisis that is now starting to be fixed. I think they're in better shape right now. They're starting to score some goals, and they're starting to put some points on the board.
Underway here in second period action. Flyers trying to get even in this particular game after Sabres got the first one. And there's Wayne Simmons chopping the puck into the Buffalo zone. Marcus Foligno back for Buffalo. Gets it to Kalinder. He is checked. Simmons gets to the puck. Now Wayne Simmons, who has goals in each of the last couple games, takes a big hit from Ott behind the net, and down he goes. Steve Ott, physical player, tied for third in the NHL in hits coming in, and he just added another one to his total.
Not an easy guy to knock down either, and Wayne Simmonds, who has done such a good job of the play along the boards. Steve Ott with a good, clean body check, and Simmonds smart not to react or retaliate.
Look ahead here to Luke Adam, and he'll dump it across into the Philadelphia zone. JR, the Flyers got a couple goals now from Claude Giroux on the year. He hit the post here in this game. Rick Tocchet was commenting in between periods about the fact that he should shoot the puck more.
I think when you start scoring and you start feeling a little bit better about yourself, shoot as much as you possibly can, because you're going to make the right decision most of the time, and you're going to be a little bit looser. I think Giroux has been a little bit looser after a couple pucks go in, and you know, when you're playing with board check, a guy who's going to be really physical, he's going to create some room for you. You got to take advantage of that, and big little slash to the head.
Yeah, a little penalty behind the play here as Weber is now in some pain in the corner. And the Flyers going to be shorthanded again.
It's a stick of Scott Hartnell that kind of snapped up there. I think he had one hand on the stick when he made contact with Mike Weber. Weber goes down, and you'll see as Hartnell spins around there with the stick, and it's the right call.
Double minor, 4 minutes for
Hartnell's careless with the stick and gets a double minor.
He's bleeding over the right eye. He had the eye closed. The trader came out, and you can see right there that the stick did come up, and there was some blood. That means 4 minutes for the Buffalo Sabres on the power play.
So the Flyers penalty kill unit, which has been struggling here over the last 6 games, really needs to come up big here, or the Flyers will have dug themselves quite a hole.
You know, Jonesy, we talked about when you're on a run, you're playing a team that has nothing to lose, like Buffalo. It's really hard to get up for, but then you make little mistakes like that, like Hartnell just did, taking penalties, especially 4 minute, really puts you down against a team that really needs the points, like Buffalo, puts himself in the hole.
Yeah, and you hate to see that 5-on-3 opportunity the Flyers had in the first period not be productive. And Buffalo came right back, got a power play of their own, and now the Flyers are going to have to kill this one off as well.
Momentum changer, that's what that no goal on a 5-on-3 is.
40 seconds into this power play time for the Sabres. Flyers doing a good job thus far in the kill as they clear the puck all the way down again. Shen doing the honors.
Hi, Coachy, I love you.
Hey, JR, how are you? That's the second I saw him downstairs. He was doing a little radio, guys, and he did a radio interview with Wayne Simmonds, and Simmonds was just thrilled to see JR.
Everybody is. Come on. He's a showman, right, JR?
In some cases, yes.
With it past to Myers all the way across. They tip it in. Emery, the save. Rebound is loose. And it dribbles behind the net. Hall is stripped to the puck. Could not clear. Sabres get it out. Stafford broke his stick on that shot attempt, and the Flyers get it back. Shen ahead off of Ronaldo, who had room in front of him. It goes all the way down the ice.
That was a huge save by Emery right there. That could be a game breaker. If they can kill this off and they can come back and win this game, that's going to be a save that they're going to remember as maybe a turning point, Jones. That was unreal.
It was, and Luke Shen gave him some good help on that play as well, getting out there and blocking for him.
Here's Reed with a steal. He's on up all the way across to Couturier, whose shot is stopped by Miller. Couturier gets it back and finds Reed, who will blast one high and wide. Timonen ready for the carom, though. And his backhand in off the stick of Miller to Reed. Flyers keeping the puck in the Buffalo zone, already through the first minor. And a 1:55 remaining now in the Hartnell penalty time.
Boy, I'll tell you, who's got the power play here? Right now, Philadelphia. It's all about the puck control.
Doing an outstanding job. There's Couturier occupying 3 Sabres and keeping them tied up. The puck to Giroux, but he could not control. And now Hodgson, good speed the other way to the Philadelphia line. And then back in the middle. That went off of a stick. It is gathered by Tyler Ennis. Around behind. Hodgson couldn't get it. Giroux does. Turns. Hit his own man with his clear. Now the Sabres have it. And they get set up with 1:17 on the power play. Ehrhoff will wind up and fire. And that hit the post. Back out it goes to Hodgson. Taking a look. Back across for Ehrhoff. His shot. Save Emery. Rebound is loose. Another shot, save, rebound off the side, and another rebound stays out, and now Giroux unable to clear. Back to the point it goes, McBain, and Hodgson fans on his shot. It's loose and is cleared this time by Giroux.
Good second effort there by Giroux, and a nice job by Braden Coburn getting in the shooting lane there and forcing that bobbled puck to slide over to Giroux.
At least one post, might have been another one in that sequence. The Flyers Very fortunate as they're still within 40 seconds of power play time. A little less than that now for the Sabres. Timonen drops it off. Grossman backhand. That's knocked down, but it bounces to Couturier, and he'll fling it all the way down in on Miller.
That's a good way to take away the board, especially on a power play. The puck's on the boards. Take it away down low and up top. Couturier gets the puck and knocks it back down. Good penalty killing right there.
Flyers 17 seconds away from killing this off. We'll see if they get the boost if they're able to do that. McNabb winds it deep. Stafford over to get it, but he turns it over. Couturier will steal, and he'll send it the length of the ice. And that will do it. Hartnell out of the box. Flyers kill it off. Let's see if that gives them an energy boost. Certainly gets the crowd involved. Now a steal by the Flyers, and Lecavalier moves in. He takes a look on the backhand, centers. It goes all the way through.
Penalty.
And a penalty coming up as the puck to Strike. Strike got it down low. Here's Schenn in the slot. The shot blocked. And there is control by the Sabres and a whistle stopping play.
It's going to be a tripping call to Tyler Myers, and Flyers do an outstanding job killing off that double minor to Scott Hartnell and then get the offensive opportunity that forces Myers into the penalty. And you see him heading to the box.
I'd really like the way Lecavalier's played coming over here. He's really come in and played some nice hockey, put some pucks in the net, made some really good plays, and I think he's only going to get better the more he settles in here as a Flyer. Look for him to have a big second half of the year coming up this year.
You can see Myers going to pick up that tripping call, and it was the counter attack. You see the Flyers responded, picking that puck up in the neutral zone when Hartnell came out of the penalty box, and all of a sudden Myers had to drag down the Flyer player. And that is a great job by the Flyers by going quickly to the net.
So now they go to work with the man advantage. Gets set up right off the bat. Here's Timonen with a shot. It hit Hartnell and bounces to Eroff on the backhand. Is able to clear it off of a teammate to the neutral zone. There's the McDonald's power play payoff contested. Hartnell will spin it deep. Simmons pursues. Checked by Linder, and the Sabres get it in clear. Both teams have had their chances with the power play. Sabres have cashed in on one. Now a penalty.
5-on-3, too many guys for Buffalo. We're going to 5-on-3 again, Jonesy.
Yeah, interesting that they blew it dead with the Flyers having the puck, but
that was down there, Coatsy. Too many men.
Absolutely. Michel Cormier, the linesman, was doing all the counting right in front of the Buffalo Sabres bench, and went over and notified the referees. He had 6 fingers in the air, and that pretty well tells the tale.
You can count them here for the Buffalo Sabres. One. Oh, that's the wrong one. Anyway, there's 5 of them on the ice, and it's a long change here. You can already see one player is off the ice, and you can see all 5. And the second guy jumps on, and the reason they blow the whistle is the linesmen get so excited when they've counted that many guys. They don't care who's carrying the puck. They want to call it immediately.
Yeah, the linesman's got a penalty to call.
That's what happens.
Yeah, he gets excited.
You have to do it when there's too many men. You're 5-on-3. You're already in a power play situation. Gives the Flyers a good minute and 22 of 5-on-3 play.
The second two-man advantage of the game. Not only on their first one, and they puck it out to center right here. Timonen right back in to Giroux. Across for Lecavalier. Now center point Strike. Back to Timonen. Nice catch to Giroux. Now the shot. Miller sees it all the way and makes the glove save.
That shot, you have Scott Hartnell in front of the net, but not in front of the goaltender. You have to get right in front of the goaltender, especially a guy like Miller. He can't be able to see that puck like that. He'll make the save every time.
And Hartnell's in position to handle a shot from Kimmo Timonen, but he's not in position to get over there in front of Giroux as he moves back to the middle, and Miller can see that easily and just snares that puck.
Flyers win this draw. Here is Timonen. Cross for Strike. Hartnell again trying to set up, trying to get in front. Lecavalier back to Timonen. Now Lecavalier. They continue to play catch. Now Giroux holds on all the way across Lecavalier, and it went off the heel of the stick wide. They're off with a chance to clear, and Strike could not keep it in. 37 seconds remain on the 5-on-3. Strike gains the line and finds Hartnell. Giroux back to Strike with all kinds of room to work with. Strike to Timonen. And now down low Lecavalier. The shot, save, rebound, and Miller able to corral it and cover up.
It's not enough shots for me. I think you're trying to settle it down, making the perfect pass. It's got to be one pass and a shot, and let's get everybody at the net. It's just trying to be too cute.
Timeout being called by Craig Berube to keep his #1 unit on the ice here. 20 seconds still left on the 5-on-3, so an important face-off. And Berube wants to make sure he takes full advantage of this opportunity, see if he can win the face-off and get the puck back.
And here's our Dodge trivia question of tonight's game as Craig Berube goes over the instructions with his team. The Flyers defeating these Sabres back in January of 1980 for the final win of what became the largest, or I should say the longest, unbeaten streak in pro sports history. How many games was that streak?
What's up, Philly?
We'll give you the answer later on. Yeah, in these 5-on-3s, the fans are saying shoot, shoot, shoot every single time a guy handles the puck. How tough is it? There's a lot of ice from out there, but as you say, if you fire and there's nobody in front, sometimes you're hurting the cause. Right?
It is, but it's one thing to not shoot, but it's one thing to make the one extra pass, and the one extra pass is going to be the one that gets messed up, like this pass that just happened with Lecavalier, where it ends up bouncing. You want to get the one pass, you want to get everybody in the net, then you want to start firing it, recover it, and get back into the play.
There's Tiemann in to Giroux, back to Tiemann. He will fire, and Miller
like
the
that.
save. Yeah,
just like that.
Was there.
But again, just like that, one pass, set it up, then shot, and Hartnell's right in front for a possible rebound.
Outstanding control by Ryan Miller. No rebounds. The way he's swallowing up that puck like a sponge in net. And that's the challenge against the top-notch goaltender like Miller.
And the Sabres doing a good job allowing him to see the puck. They're really not collapsing right in front of him on those shots. They're letting him see it and letting him make the save.
Giroux will take this draw. Lecavalier tossed out. Giroux against Ott. Ott won it cleanly. And that allows the Sabres the opportunity to clear it all the way down, and they do, and that will take care of the two-man advantage. By the time the Flyers get the puck to the Sabres zone, it'll be a 5-on-4. 37 seconds remaining on the bench minor. He's served by Tyler Ennis. Sabres get to the puck and send it all the way down, and the natives are getting restless with the Philadelphia power play.
Shows you how important faceoffs are, and the sloppiness continues. This is just what happens when you're not prepared for a power play and you take a break. You have to outwork the penalty kill when you're on the power play, and right now it's not happening.
Giroux for Lecavalier. One last push with the power play. Straight. Across. Giroux has a look. Tough pass for Lecavalier. Bounces away from out of the box is Ennis. But he's got the puck. Back to even strength hockey. Stafford to Ennis. Ennis. Stutter step move. Back around behind for Stafford. He's ridden to the boards and taken down by Giroux, who clears the zone off the stick of McNabb. We played almost 9 minutes of this second period. It remains a 1-0 game. And icing is the call.
And the Flyers catch a bit of a break there. Giroux, tired at the end of that power play opportunity, was trying to get to the bench. Lecavalier made it over, so did Hartnell, but Giroux was lagging a little bit behind, and unfortunately the Buffalo Sabres iced the puck.
You can see the Sabres paying a little bit more attention to Lecavalier. They obviously looked at some tape and saw the passing that was going on between Giroux and Lecavalier on the power plays, because that pass just wasn't there.
Downey gets to the puck here. Back to Coburn for a shot save. Miller rebound. Bounces free and away from Downey, and Stafford will move it to center ice. One of the rare rebound opportunities there for the Flyers. They couldn't get to it. Now Reed drops to Downey. Downey's shot blocked off by him. And now goes in on goal and is backed away. Reed was there looking to poke it in. And now they'll move it ahead. Downey will wind it deep to Buffalo ice. 10:45 remaining in this second period. Downey knocks the puck down for Couturier. Back for Downey with some room. Downey cutting in front, then tried to pass it. Stopped, then got a shot up, and then Couturier tried to finish from the angle and was denied. Big hit. Ferguson's there by Reed, and the Flyers get the puck back.
Outstanding job by the third line here. Couturier's guys get out there and start to get some offensive zone pressure after sitting and watching the 5-on-3 power play go away. You want to have strong shifts right after.
Big hit by Simmons, and Lecavalier takes the puck away from Myers. Myers gets it back. Simmons steals the puck again for Philadelphia. Myers riding him from behind, and the Sabres able to clear the zone. Now Luke Shen. Play, but Myers knocks it down. In across the Philadelphia line with room. He'll wind it. Fire save. Emery. He'll hang on. JR. It's been great talking to you. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Yeah, it's been great. Let's hope for a little Flyers offense. We can get a win tonight, and we can all have some fun.
There you go.
JR, take care, man. Love you.
Take care,
We'll
JR.
be back. We're midway through the hockey game here with the Buffalo Sabres, Philadelphia Flyers. Sabres leading 1-0. It's time for our Geico quote of tonight's game. And Timo Timonen on the team's improvement. I knew we had a good team, but until we started moving the puck around the net and playing solid team defense, it wasn't going to be hard. And we had an opportunity to talk to him a little earlier, and he was certainly saying all those things about how this team is doing all the right things right now, doing a lot more skating. And right now, the skating's there. The passing and the shooting are, as we've seen, on the power play.
Flyers now 0 for 5 with a man advantage, including 2 separate stints with 5-on-3s. Still only down a goal, though. Does he get it going? Simmons puts the puck in, tried to center, hit the side of the net. Schenn check, but wins the battle behind the net. Brayden Schenn back to his older brother Luke. And now it's Brayden. Pivoting. Having a look and going all the way across ice. The shot! Miller came out to make the save on Gustafsson. Gustafsson, though, sticks with it. Takes a hit from Foligno and works the puck to LeCavalier, who tried to center. That one went off of Ehrhoff. Back out it goes to Luke Schenn. Cross for Gustafsson. Pass to Brayden Schenn. Out to LeCavalier, but his pass knocked down, and now he stumbled. His knees, he's able to one-hand it toward the slot. Simmons kept it alive, but now it's out to the neutral zone. Schenn back to Gustafsson. We hit 9 minutes remaining in this second period. Voracek a shot, and the save made calmly by Miller. He's had 24 of them in this game, and has been unable to get the puck past him. Giroux will bounce this one into the right of Miller. Now Giroux gets the puck. Trying to maneuver to the slot, but had it knocked away from him. Recapture it. And they get to Giroux behind the net. Looking away from Weber. Giroux still has it all the way out toward the line. Across in the skates of Coburn. He's able to get the puck to Timonen. Shuttled it along for Voracek, but it's tipped away from him. And now the other way go the Sabres. Molson and Stafford. Stafford will send it into the Philadelphia zone. Coburn is checked. Stafford won it. Got it in front. And that shot attempt by Adam was blocked. Back to the point. Kept in McBain. Gets it to Stafford. Another shot. Save Emery right out into the slot, though. And that puck went tipped to the corner as Grigorenko unable to do much with it. Grigorenko. Big hit on Coburn, but Coburn took the hit to make the play, and the Flyers move ahead. Voracek to Giroux. Giroux holds on, waits, stops, looks for help, and finds it, but the shot from Timonen went off his stick and then to the glass. Flyers will change up as the Sabres look to move back. McNabb takes the hit from Ronaldo. Sends the aerial through center ice. Strike. To Grossman. Nick Grossman will fire one in. Glove by Miller. He's going to hang right onto it. 7.5 remaining in the second period. Still 1-0 Buffalo.
The season is upon us, and what better way to celebrate than in a suite at a Flyers game. Invite 12 to 80 guests and get an autographed Flyers puck to give to each one. Call 215-389-9500 to book your premium holiday party.
That looked to be footage we were showing there, a party that Coatsy didn't find out about.
Yes.
Wasn't there.
I think they did that on purpose.
Would they do that? Coatsy's the life of the party.
He is.
Draw to the left of Ryan Miller here.
There's another one after.
Ah, there you go. Strike. The pass to Grossman. He'll flip one. It's knocked aside by McCormick. Myers will throw it across ice. Sabres have it. Billy Leno. Just 10 goals in 90 games as a Buffalo Sabre. They're getting that big contract. Strike. Along and good hit by Ronaldo allows Rosehill some room to move up. Rosehill from the red line couldn't get that puck deep, and he's been sent nearly into the Philadelphia bench by McCormick. Wanted a piece of McCormick, but McCormick turned the other cheek and went to the Buffalo bench. Here's Foligno. Now behind.
I don't think McCormick knew that Rosehill wanted a piece of him. He just going back. He didn't even look over his shoulder, did he?
Time for a change.
Yeah.
Behind the net is Adamov. Flipping that puck to Reed. Reed could not clear. Puck bounces back. Now it's Grossman backhanding it ahead to Downey. He'll just spin it through the neutral zone. Ehrhoff is there. Across. Weber to Ott and into the Philadelphia zone. 6 minutes. 15 seconds remain in this second period. Myers' goal late in the first. The only tally of this one. Flyers trying to win a game in which they allow the first goal for the first time this season. There's Reed. It's it in. Couturier after. Wrapped up by Ehrhoff. Downey taken into the boards by Weber. Couturier is there. Wraps him up. Couturier gets the puck to Downey. Downey in front. Reed. He scores! Despite being checked by Stafford, Reed able to finish it. And the Flyers have tied it at 1. Reed scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
You want to pick me up for your power play. The third line provides it. Not the first time these guys have come on the ice here in the second period and generated offensive opportunities. It's Sean Couturier doing the work on the wall and does a nice job here in protecting the puck from Steve Ott. Finds Downey, and a perfect feed from Downey in the wheelhouse of Matt Reed. No chance for Miller.
And watch Reed read it. He's over at the dot. So now he's watching. So he comes from the dot. He follows. So he gives Downey the target. He gets in the middle of the coverage. When that pass comes out, he gets down on the one knee. He wanted to get all of it, and boy, he got all of it up high to tie this hockey game. But great passes like both Couturier and Downey to get that puck out to the middle of the Reed.
And they get the helpers as that line does such great work defensively, contributes to the offensive end, and the Flyers have tied this game. Here's Simmons. Hit across the line. Simmons surging into the zone. Simmons a backhander, and Miller was up to it. Puck still is another shot. Goes high and wide from in front as Collier was not able to finish. He's got the puck again in the corner, though. Tips it to Simmons. Simmons holding on, but his pass tipped. Goes back to the corner. He and Stafford after it. Stafford rolling around to the other side of the ice. McNabb will track it down. Slides it up the wall. And it does make it to center. Braden Shen back in. McNabb will play it there. Tick down to 5 minutes remaining in this second period. Icing the call there.
Well, let's take a look at our power back rehabilitation. Come from behind goal. That's what it's called, the comeback goal. It's Couturier to Downey. Downey into the middle of the Reed. Reed, you see, beats everybody into the middle. And then as a right-hand shot, he's got the opportunity to take that one-timer. And that is our power back rehabilitation comeback goal of the game.
Matt Reed came into this game leading the Flyers in shots on goal. So he'll take that shot when it's there, and right there, able to find the net. Flyers have outshot the Sabres 15-6 here in the second period. But to add to that total, here's Luke Schenn, a shot that deflects and never got to the net. And off of McNabb to the corner. Flyers get back to it, but Hartnell had his stick lifted, kept in the zone though. And a nice play made by Gustafsson. He's been aggressive offensively here in this second period. He's got the puck again, centers, but it's knocked aside by Grigorenko. Got back by Voracek. Voracek hands off to Luke Schenn, then played across ice to Gustafsson. Gustafsson kicking it out of his skates, trying to center. It's off Hartnell. He'll go across ice. And now Luke Schenn in the middle, loose. Puck, Giroux's there, he deeks. Miller stays with him, makes the save, and covers up. No frustration for Claude Giroux with a great chance right there.
1-1 to score here as we take a look at our Wells Fargo great check of the game. It was right here. Watch. Cody McCormick is going to take Ray Rosehill right along the wall, right to my left. Yeah, he kind of put him right into the Flyers bench, and Rosehill didn't like that. He looked, wanted a piece of him. Cody McCormick said, "Liz, maybe I'll talk a little later on. I got to go to the bench."
He saw him, though. You can
I
see
saw that replay. He did, yeah. I got to go.
We'll see if that gets revisited.
Two tough customers.
Yes.
McCormick can throw him, too. He's a lefty.
Absolutely.
5 majors this year for Cody McCormick, so he's certainly not worried about it.
Former Colorado Avalanche. Love on the ice. Hodgkins is getting it back, and now here's Downey with a pass down low. Reed holds, waits, and scores! Patience paying off. And Reed has gone back-to-back with goals to bring the Flyers from behind 2 in front. It's 2-1. Reed again for a case of Tasty Cake.
Outstanding work from this line. It's Downey that keeps the play alive down to Matt Reed, and look at the hands on Matt Reed as he draws Miller out of the net and down and is able to elevate that puck.
Where did the Buffalo Sabres defenders go? Look, all 5 Buffalo Sabres were right there around Downey on the other side of the ice. Right there, look at that, leaves Matt Reed all by himself. He waits, he shows the patience, then goes upstairs. But the defense, they've got to have somebody back there. Everybody caught on the one side of the ice and up near the circle.
Reed from Downey and Couturier. Sounds familiar. That's how both of the Flyer goals have read. This third line. So good for the Flyers. Doing the job in this one for sure. Braden Shen to Grossman. Now low. Lecavalier was checked. Now it's Simmons. Back behind the net. Lecavalier trying to fight off Talina. It does! And then backhanded it wide. Steve Ott able to clear the zone. Sprite couldn't come up with it. But here comes Foligno. Foligno holds, drags the puck, and then went to take the shot. Grossman got his stick in there after all. Knock it away. Braden Shen moving up. To the middle, that's a turnover. And the other way it goes Molson. On time between shots for the Sabres. The Flyers back into the Buffalo zone. Here's Voracek. And he's knocked off the puck momentarily by Aroff. He stays with it, but Sabres do get control, and Ott will flutter it out to the neutral zone. We tick down toward 3 minutes remaining in this second period. Matt Reed, a couple of goals, separated by just a minute and 40 seconds. The Flyers had the lead for the first time. And that's going to be icing against Buffalo.
Matt Reed having a heck of a second period here. He's picked up 2 goals. His line mates have a lot to do with it. Downey, a nice feed there after the hard work from Couturier. Couturier frees that puck. Downey finds Reed again, and terrific hands and patience on that second goal.
Off the face-off, the Sabres able to control. Adam will move up. He's tied for the lead in AHL goal scoring at the time of his recall. And he is buried by Luke Schenn.
Welcome to National Hockey League. 13 goals in 15 games down there, but a little bit different up here.
Of course, has been here before, but yeah, for this year, his first game in the NHL, and Luke Schenn wanted to make sure he was aware of that. Emery unable to corral that puck, but Giroux has it. And now a rink-wide feed. Or Downey. Pump it into the Buffalo zone. A lot of hits in this one. Slight edge for the Sabres as Adam backhands that one off. Racing down the ice. Flyers have it, trying to take advantage of the Buffalo change. Here's Tiemann in center. Couturier was after it, but Miller eats it up.
There's that line again. Couturier, a nice job driving the net. Steve Downey, a perfectly placed pass, and another scoring chance.
Let's take a look at our Independence Blue Cross fearless play of the game. Luke Schenn back in the lineup. Do you like that? That's called finishing your check. Right up against the wall. And you can see right there the big boy Adam. He's not going anywhere after that hit.
Yeah, he's not a small guy. 6'2", over 200 pounds.
Big man.
Luke Schenn made him look like a rag doll right there. Flyers had the puck back. Couturier hit across the line. Downey. Looks one that's batted away by Miller up over the glass and out of play. Flyers over 30 shots now.
Another smart one by Downey there too. Well, you get flyered up for the holidays at the Fan Zone powered by Reebok. Get savings of up to 30% off starting at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. For complete Black Friday sale details, visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com/Black Friday. And of course, it's an 11:30 a.m. game that morning. You can see the exclusive Flyers stuff that you can pick up. Yeah. Outstanding.
Great stuff indeed, and again, exclusively here at the location. And you can spend the whole day here. Got the sales starting early in the morning, the 11:30 game against the Jets. The Sixers play that night. And first in the door gets 30% off, so the early birds are rewarded. Sabres move in. Look out here. The shot by McBain. Save Emery. The puck bounces high in the air and then off of Braden Shen to the neutral zone. So the Sabres getting a shot on goal there. They have not had many here in the second period. Hadn't had one in over 7 minutes until that offering. And they're offside here as Stafford, I should say Hodgson, beat Ennis into the zone. So the face-off upcoming in the neutral zone tomorrow at 5. Former Eagle Ike Reese gives you his take on Nick Foles and his prediction on the Eagles battle coming up in a little while against the Cardinals. Watch Philly Sports Talk presented by Classic Nissan tomorrow at 5 on Comcast Sports.
Not easy for Ray Emery to sit there for 7 minutes and not get a shot on goal, so good for him to feel the puck once again, and it's going to be important down the stretch here.
I'm sure you'd rather have a lob from the blue line unscreened, but that was a tester. There's a shot that goes high and wide from Matt Olson, the former Islander. Came over, of course, in the Thomas Vanek trade. So many changes for the Sabres team, with only a quarter of the season having elapsed. Molson, Marcus Foligno, 40 seconds remaining in the period. Good hard work there by Giroux in the defensive zone, but still could not get the puck out. Molson will roll it around to the other side. Myers in from the point. Myers upended by Giroux. Penalty called from way out beyond the red line. The referee, Mark Jeanette, makes the call. John McIsaac, the other referee, was, 10 feet away from the play.
Some good hard work by Giroux defensively there, and he actually got the puck first before the trip took place, but from the neutral zone, the referee could not see that. There's the puck first, and Myers goes down, and the ref from center ice there has the arm in the air for the call. Here's one more look at it. Giroux gets the puck first, and then Myers is tripped. Clearly there was a trip on the play, but the fact he got the puck first was the reason the referee close to the play didn't make the call.
And they usually will let it go if you get the puck first.
Yep.
Certainly on the dive, when you're diving to get back and you get the puck first, it is not a penalty. There is Miller keeping the puck away from Sean Couturier. Final 12 seconds of the period. Sabres have had a lot of power play time in this game, as have the Flyers. Molson tried to go cross ice. Coburn tipped it. Ennis getting to it. 2 seconds, one, and that's it for period number 2. 1:33 of power play time to start the third for the Sabres, but a good second period for the Flyers. Reed, Downey, Couturier line. Tallies twice. Get the Flyers on top. Tonight's Flyers Sabres second period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Tonight's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $50 million. So play today. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Players must be 18 years or older. Downstairs to Steve Coates.
Matt, is it safe to say that you guys were struggling on the power play, and then all of a sudden, it used to be that this team would struggle when it faced adversity, but now all of a sudden you guys came back, so it's got to be pleasing for you.
Yeah, 2 5-on-3s we didn't score on, but it's a long game. You got to, after that 5-on-3, it was a big shift to get momentum back in this game and get pucks deep and just go back to work.
Let's talk about your 2 goals, because the first one, you saw the play, you read it, and got yourself into an open area right in front of the net.
Yeah, we talked about having a good F3, and Coots won a good battle in the corner, cycled it to Downey behind the net, and just found the open area, good pass, and I think Miller fell down or something. Luckily it went in.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Coatsy.
Let's head back down to Keith Jones.
All right, thanks, Coatsy. College students and military personnel can get tickets to Flyers home games at a great rate. Just show your student or military ID at the Wells Fargo Center box office on the day of each Flyers home game.
Now the Flyers of the season high 19 shots in one period in that second period. John Bourque and Rick Taka will talk about that and other things as they analyze the action after these messages. 2-1.
Flyers that they were not able to capitalize on, but some outstanding work after the second 5-on-3 in the second period from the Matt Reed line. Reed picks up both goals, and his line mates pick up assists on each of them. The checking line getting the job done. And you need a boost after not being able to score with your power play that these guys provided it. Reed doing a nice job in getting to the front of net. Couturier and Downey doing good work and some jam plays there. Couturier just missed that one, and then Reed is able to capitalize there on a beautiful feed from Downey. Downey finds him again for this one, and Matt Reed shows some great hands and patience, giving the Flyers the 2-1 lead.
There is Sean Couturier. Got that first goal the other night. 2 helpers tonight. Downey, a couple of helpers. Technically now leads the Flyers with his 11 assists as Downey, and Matt Reed with 2 goals. So he now has 9 points on the year and 6 tallies.
Downey 5 assists in the 6 games that he's played with the Flyers. And that line was +2 in that second period.
Well, Matt Reed, it's not all about what you see on the stat sheet, but as those numbers would indicate over the last 13 games, he's been contributing in that way as well. His game about so much more than that. I'd certainly say that about Sean Couturier as well, as that line is out to start with 1, or at least 2 of them. 1:20 remaining on the Giroux penalty. Couturier and Reed were up front. Now Zach Rinaldo comes out. So he's been getting more and more penalty kill time here in recent games. Team able to clear to center. Flyers won 7 times and leading after 2. 0-15 the Sabres when trailing after 2. Flyers want to keep them in the over in that category as Coburn sends that one all the way down in on Ryan Miller. That's Christian Ehrhoff. Net as he got to his own line by Ronaldo.
That's a great play by Ronaldo because he didn't let Ehrhoff get away with it. Bobbing the head and moving his shoulders.
Now Ronaldo after the puck in his own zone. Able to protect it long enough to get it to Coburn, who's trying to steer that to Hall, and they get it to Hall eventually. And Adam chops it down the ice.
Great communication there from the Flyers as Grossman was yelling, hey, 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 move it here, not here. And Coburn was able to respond and get the puck to the right place.
Adam Hall sending that puck all the way down in on Ryan Miller, his former teammate at Michigan State. Still very tight. There's Couturier intercepting, and from the red line chipping it into the Buffalo zone. Dave McNabb back to play as the power play has run its course. Giroux out of the box, fires back to full strength. Bruce Stafford hit across the line. The shot ends up in front. Stafford got a shot off St. Emery. Rebound, rattles around. Hartnell has it in his skates, couldn't get it out of there, but now Giroux takes it to center ice. It's a 4-on-3, although the Sabres are getting back. Giroux will just play it in. Couturier backhands it around behind the net. Myers is there. His pass to Ott and then right back to McNabb. Ahead for Stafford. He's forced by Gustafsson again up on the play. And he causes the turnover, but then Giroux couldn't get it past McNabb. Myers get it back, and Voracek will spin it in and chase. Myers is there, that big long reach. And Myers will move it ahead right on the tape with that pass. Grigorenko to the Philadelphia line, goes wide. Around behind the net. Looks in front, nothing there, so back out. Ehrhoff will flip one. Save made by Emery as that one settled right into his breadbasket.
Couple of big saves for Emery here in the early going. A nice job there. No rebound for the Buffalo Sabres to try to track down. And Drew Stafford had a prime chance on that bouncing puck right there. Nice concentration by Emery and some good help from his teammates with that bouncing puck.
That's a hard save by Emery. And look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The whole Philadelphia Flyer team on the ice around Emery to support him.
Emery with an even tougher save there, Coatsy, as he had Marcus Foligno virtually in his lap, and he was able to make the save. Puck goes all the way down into the Buffalo zone. Here's Simmons to Schenn. He waits, he fires, and Miller got a piece of it to the... Nice, Schenn from the slot. Ryan Miller has been so good in this game. Over 30 saves now. Grigorenko. Look at him. Checked by Coburn. And the Flyers get it. Schenn to Timonen. Cross ice. Simmons will whip it in from the red line. Flyers will change. Weber goes around. Be handled by Ehrhoff. Jurgensen's trying to get the puck out of the zone. Did, but Schenn takes over shortly thereafter. And now finds Couturier. Couturier with some nice moves, but then lost the puck at the line, and Jurgensen will move it ahead. Jammed into the Philadelphia zone by Hodgson. Ennis and Grossman pursue. Grossman turned it over. Quick angle shot by Hodgson, denied by Emery. Now down low. Jurgensen's a weak shot, but is smothered by Emery, and he'll cover up.
Well, we were talking about the great save that Emery had made on Stafford. Well, how about this action? Ehrhoff with a shot from the point. Watch. Foligno right in front, and Kimmo Timonen says, I'm not looking at the puck. I'm not looking at anything else. I'm making sure that Foligno is nullified. Oh, yeah, he's going to drill him into Emery, but he can't do very much with that puck if he's on his butt in the goal crease.
And he just relied on Emery being able to see through all that to make that save, or if he didn't see it, which I don't think he did, at least be in the right position. And he made the save and got that rebound right on out towards center ice.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Yeah. Here's Hodgson flipping it in. Grossman not in the way of Jurgensen's, and now it's Coburn. Couturier, he did not get that out of the zone first try. Second try, he'll skate it to center. Bumps into the linesman, then from the red line, will clear it in right in front of Coatsy. And now it's played up and out. Coburn on it, and right back into the Buffalo zone. Just over 4 minutes into this third period. Flyers with a 2-1 lead, trying to make it points in 6 straight games. Here's a turnover. Hall hands off to Rosehill, who's denied in front. Now Rosehill gets the puck back to Coburn, who fires that off a stick and into the safety netting.
Or good hustle from the fourth line there. Santa Sachs, the ultimate Flyers gift pack, are on sale now. get Flyers fans what they really want with Flyers and Phantoms tickets, an autographed puck or stick, a Flyers calendar, and more. Call 800-298-4200 and order yours for the ones you love today.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get in those set-asides. All these great items. Those autographed items we were talking about earlier.
They're big.
And up here, they're set-aside. Sabres forcing action deep in the Philadelphia zone. Here's Ott with a shot kick save by Emery, and now a chance to move the puck forward for Luke Schenn. Conley turns back and gets to Gustafsson. In the middle of Giroux, off for Hartnell. Fans, and then second try will wind it in, and that was going to skip right back out to Foligno. Marcus Foligno, only 22 years of age. Former Sabre Mike Foligno's son and Nick's brother. Bloodlines in the Foligno family. NHL hockey as that puck sent all the way down to the icing against Philadelphia. No, it won't. Simmons with good hustle cancels it and then gets the puck. Simmons holding on, waiting, and then dropping it off for Streit. Streit takes a look in front. Continues to hold. Centers, goes off of Miller, and then ricochets to the corner. And it's played by Drew Stafford. And he'll hustle the puck the other way. Stafford, left wing feed. Leno, checked by LeCavalier, but still controls. Got it back to Ehrhofer. Shot deflected, but went wide. Grossman keep the puck away from Big John Scott, and he did so. Now it's Simmons the other way again. He's near the end of his shift. In fact, he's at the end of his shift. He'll backhand in and head off on the change. Miller keeping the puck away from Braden Schenn, who stayed out on the ice. Ehrhoff his head up there, but never was hit. Now he'll play the puck to the Philadelphia line. It goes all the way down. Emery. Second down low to Coburn. Coburn had it bounce off a skate to Downey. Downey trying to get it through the forechecking. The Sabres could not. And now here's a shot. Gergensen blocked. It's back to the rebound, and it's sent right back through the slot. Now Tyler Myers on it. Myers behind the net. Ennis maneuvering and gets it back. Gergensen's waiting and then just flipping it deep. That's going to skip to the other corner. Downey hesitated, didn't get to it originally. Now it's centered out in front by Hodgson. Played by Timonen to Downey. And he'll move it to center ice. And across the line, but offside is called. We'll be back. Timonen, the venerable Flyers defenseman. What has been the key to the Flyers' turnaround from the bad start?
The biggest thing, if I have to say right now, is our skating. Up and down. There's 5 guys going up, 5 guys coming back down. And there's no 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, 4-on-2s. That it happens a couple times a game. That's normal, but you don't see that many times than maybe early in the year. And I think we found the right line combinations too. You know, it's like we got solid 4 lines and solid 3 better defensemen. So and goalies are playing really well. So every time when they play like that, they give us a chance to win the game.
You can see the speed of Simmons on that forecheck, getting in there, nullifying the icing, and here they're skating in again on the forecheck, and that has been the biggest difference. And Kimmo Timonen answered that perfectly.
Yeah, Kimmo, when the team was struggling, said the same thing. We need to skate more, and well, Berube certainly obliged. They skate a lot, up-tempo practices. There's a shot from the point by McBain that's knocked down. And the Flyers move it ahead. Voracek playing it in. Wayne Simmons and Jake Voracek have both mentioned how they feel better because of all the skating in practice. During games now, they feel as though they're actually lighter in their skates, and they certainly seem that way, the way they've been skating.
You see it on the forecheck the most, and it's through all 4 lines. And Greg Berube's done a good job of using all 4 lines. The 4th line usually plays between 6 and 8 minutes a night, kind of following that Boston Bruins model that's made them so successful over the last few seasons.
4th line out for the Flyers right now is Coburn. Tied up by Leno, his stick knocked out of his hands. That's going to be a penalty. And then Ott really heavily into Ronaldo. Rosehill jumps Ott. And the guy who is known as a pot stirrer has just caused the water to boil.
And that's his job. After recognizing that the Sabres had a delayed penalty that was going to be called, Ott tries to draw Ronaldo into one himself with an aggressive play, and the Flyers respond the right way. They don't get sucked in by Steve Ott. They show good discipline, and we'll see how the referees call this.
This is going to be an interesting call, and I think Ronaldo did a great job. When you see this type of thing, you're not going to find Steve Ott very far away. Let's take a look at Ville Leino, because this is where it's all going to start. Leino's going to try to make a move here on Coburn. And he's got a hold of the stick right there, knocks the stick out of his hand, and that's the original call.
Yeah, the one-hand chop by Leino there, and here's Steve Ott trying to take Ronaldo down and trying to cause a scuffle here to see if the Flyers retaliate and take a penalty in that scrum. And the refs are sorting it out right now, but I would suspect that these Sabres end up shorthanded after this.
Buffalo 23, Meyer penalty for slashing. Philadelphia penalty 37, 2 minutes roughing.
Wow. Yeah, see, there you go.
Steve Ott won it. Steve Ott plays the referees as they ruled that the hit on Ronaldo as the whistle was sounding and everyone was letting up as the Sabres obviously touched the puck. It was okay, and there's a sucker punch right there. Let's see maybe if Ott... Now Ronaldo goes over. Pretty poor job, got to say, by the officials of keeping the players separated. You know if Ott's out on the ice, there's the potential for more trouble. And he gave Simmons a little bit of a rabid punch there, but he got away with that as well.
And he's empowered by the referees in making the call on Rosehill.
Now, is Ronaldo the only player getting penalized for what just happened?
This is called a Steve Ott special for the Buffalo Sabres.
But you can't do that. Ott actually throws a punch at Simmons. How could you miss that?
It takes two to tangle. Now we're going to watch it. Simmons and Ott are having conversation right before my eyes, right here. So now all of a sudden a little push. But then here comes Hardno. That's nothing. Let's take that out. But here comes here comes Ronaldo rather. And there's nothing but conversation. So he gets a 10-minute misconduct.
Flyers will take that over a 2-minute minor for unsportsmanlike.
And it remains even strength hockey, so 4-on-4. Zach's pretty much done. So about 2 minutes remain in the game, or at least in the third period. So lots of open ice with a 4-on-4. What could have been a Flyers power play turns into even strength hockey, and they end up losing a player for 10 minutes, all because Steve Ott is savvy. He knows how to play the officials. He's done it for many years in this league. He's in his 11th year now. Nick Grossman with him in Dallas has nothing but positive things to say about him as a teammate. And says when you play against him, he's going to get under your skin. Even Nick Grossman, who is a friend of his, says that he'll hit me. He'll hit me hard if he gets the chance. There's a shot that's off the stick of Miller and then the glass. There's Grossman out on the ice. Couturier to the puck, looking for Grossman, but that's knocked down. Now Couturier has it. Couturier trying to move to the slot, still has control. Couturier around behind the net, holding on. Doesn't see an option now. Flips it, deflected in a goal save. Miller, and then a rebound bounced wide. Here's Matt Reed. Reed to strike for a shot, batted away. Back out now, another shot. Grossman, that hit a player in front, decked in front. Was Reed, and Tyler Myers will go for cross-checking. Reed and Couturier out there and doing some great things in the offensive zone again, and they get a penalty against Buffalo.
Putting a clinic on good offensive zone pressure. That line has been outstanding in this game, and had some help from Grossman and Streit too. Some good aggressive play from the defenseman as well. There's Reed digging for that loose puck, and a good rotation between Grossman and Streit that opens up that opportunity, and the cross-check by Myers right there as he erases Reed from the front of the net.
All this activity when you're beating people to the puck, when you're winning the one-on-one battles, usually it can draw out the penalty. There's a perfect example where Tyler Myers, the big boy, couldn't keep up with Reed cutting across the front of the net.
And you had to know anything close on the Sabres was going to get called after the way the last sequence was called. And the Flyers with a 4-on-3, 40 seconds remaining on the concurrent minors. Here's your McDonald's power play payoff contested. Giroux to Streit. That's for the Flyers to get a little breathing room here, but they go offside at the Buffalo line.
Just about bad bounce of the puck there as Giroux moved it to Mark Streit, but it hopped up over the stick of Streit. A relatively easy pass to make, but the ice became a factor on that one.
Flyers power play, which had been hot here over the last 4 games, has had a rough night here tonight. A couple of 2-man advantages. A lot of power play time, but they can score here and make up for it. Streit danced right along the line. Somehow the Flyers stayed on side. And now here's Lecavalier. Back to Streit. He gets set up for the 4-on-3. Streit with a blast. Save made by Miller through the screen of Simmons. Now Giroux. Holding out. Back to Streit. Another blast. And that one goes high and wide as again Simmons trying to apply the screen. It bounces out to Streit. He holds. Cross-ice shot. Lecavalier. He scores! A laser from Lecavalier. And the Flyers now lead 3-1 on the power play goal. Lecavalier scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Well, JR was up with us for a little while in this game, and he said Lecavalier has played some outstanding hockey for the Flyers. And I don't know if anybody one-times the puck as hard as Vinny does from that spot. Just an absolute rocket with traffic in front. No chance for Ryan Miller.
Remember I said earlier the Buffalo Sabres were paying a little bit more attention to Lecavalier because of his ability to be able to shoot the puck like that. That's his offense. When he gets in that area, right off the dot, inside the circle, facing the net, gets that one-timer. Oh my goodness, it's lethal.
Team leading 8th of the year for Lecavalier. His 4th power play goal, which leads the Flyers. And when it comes out of the net as quickly as it goes in, you know you've hammered the puck.
Yeah, and he did.
So the Flyers, power play on the board. Make it 5 straight games with a man advantage goal. They're looking for more. Matt Reed, who has 2 on the night. Reed moving up. Reed looking to the middle. Tried to get the pass. It was denied. Behind the net, he gets the puck back, but it's tipped. Stafford moves the puck out to center. Past the midpoint of this third period. Here's Reed again. This time he'll shoot it, but it's blocked. Couturier to the puck. And now he'll move after it in the corner. Oh, he shrugs off the check attempt by Kalinder, but the puck does dribble out to the neutral zone. Boy, can you tell the 1 goal by Couturier the other night has given him confidence or what?
Outstanding game from Couturier here as the fans are giving it to Ryan Miller after that save, but Couturier has led the way. He's been a momentum changer here tonight.
Big save there by Emery off of Hodgson. The rebound went right into the slot. Sabres unable to jam that puck home. Schenn has lost his stick. Luke Schenn without his stick here. The puck comes across to McBain. Now McNabb. His shot blocked by Simmons. Second try got it into the slot. And it was tipped away. Now here's Gustafsson. Around to the other side. Schenn still without his... Actually, Simmons without his stick now. Schenn has his back. Now the centering pass, and it's gobbled up by Emery, who covers. Break in the action. Vinny Lecavalier celebrating his 8th of the year. The Flyers are up by 2. Ron Burke.
All right, thanks so much, JJ. RB and I will be with you for Chevy Malibu Sports Night coming up a little later on. And we've got some Phillies news. Hot stove heating up. Carlos Ruiz, it was a move first reported by us on Monday. The Phillies made it official. He does have that new 3-year contract.
They also have a new pitching coach to fill that vacancy. Calls when Rich Doobie was not brought back. We'll hear from Ruben tomorrow on a man they selected with a background in the American League to now coach their pitchers. That's coming up later on Sports Night. Right now, let's send it back to JJ, Jonesy, and Coatsy.
Thank you very much, Ron and Amy. And let's take a look at our Hyundai save of the game. And it came here in the 3rd period. It seemed like the puck just is going to follow the stick of Drew Stafford. It just jumps right in between 3 Philadelphia Flyers. Stafford ends up getting the quick wrist shot. How about that save by Ray Emery? Gets himself right into the butterfly, keeps upright, hits it in the shoulder, and that's our Hyundai save of the game.
Emery has made 24 saves. As Adam Hall gets that puck ahead to Claude Giroux from his stomach, swats the puck toward the net. Penalty coming up. Here's Giroux. Bounces back to Streit. Delayed call. Grossman breaks his stick on that shot. He ends up with what's left of his stick. And that's the end of that. But the Flyers will go right back to the power play.
It was Giroux that took a tripping penalty early in this period, and he draws one here as Mike Weber takes the legs out of Claude Giroux, and the Flyers head right back to the power play after Vinny Lecavalier just gave him an insurance marker and put him up 3-1.
Well, the Flyers talked a lot about the Flyers' 3rd period issues this year. In their first 15 games, they were outscored 18-6. In their last 6 games, including tonight, they are now +5. They've outscored opponents 8-3, and don't you think that has a lot to do again with that skating and just being in better shape?
I think Timo Timonen backed it up, didn't he, with the way he answered that question before the game. It's about moving your feet. We're doing it here and winning the puck battles again.
And they get set up here on this man advantage. Timonen and Giroux. Great catch as Simmons sets up in front. There he is. Simmons. Oh, he tried to make the move, and Miller was up to it. Got his stick on it. That puck deflects and goes out of play. No penalty. It deflected off of a stick, and so the face-off will be in the Buffalo zone.
Smart play by Ryan Miller there. The Flyers will take on the New York Islanders this Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Get to the game with the all-for-one deal, including a ticket plus food and drinks in the Lexus Club. Call 215-218-PUCK now to reserve your seat.
We won't see the Sabres again until January. And by then, the Olympic teams will have been announced. What do you think about Ryan Miller's chances in net for Team USA? About a month ago, you wouldn't have given him much of a chance.
Yeah, way better now because Jonathan Quick is out for at least until Christmas. So Ryan Miller has a great chance to start for the U.S. Olympic team. If Quick comes back and stumbles at all, short time before the Olympics, they start middle of February.
And remember, he was the best player, voted the best player in the Olympics in Vancouver. So he's got pretty good experience at that level. Here is Giroux holding a shot. Save Miller through the screen of Simmons, and again, no rebound.
How could you not feel comfortable with him backstopping it? He has been so calm under fire in this game and really all season. If you're the U.S. Olympic Team Committee and you're looking for your goalie, I don't know if you have to look much further than Ryan Miller the way he's played this year.
And really, when you look at it, his goals against is .318. You say, what? Over 3? That's not good. Well, here's an example tonight. 40 shots now for the Flyers. He's allowed 3 goals, but he's been brilliant.
Yeah, he has. There's no question about it.
Here's Gustafsson. Bringing it to LeCavalier. Halfway through this man advantage. Vinny, whoopsie-doos, with his cross-ice pass tipped down the ice by Stafford. The Flyers have to go back and get it. Emery will hand it off to Mark Streit. In all likelihood, will be part of those Olympics. Switzerland. Puck in, LeCavalier. Holding on. Gives to Gustafsson. Ted Nolan will be coaching the Latvian team at the Olympics. There's Reed. Swung it just wide. And Reed looking for his third. Now it's LeCavalier. Behind the back pass. They set it in front. Braden Shen a tip, but it's blocked in front. And it finally squirts free, and McNabb takes a look and sends one all the way down. Emery will play that one. Final 7 seconds of the power play as we tick down towards 6 minutes remaining in this third period. Cavalier weaving his way up and then hammering it into the Buffalo zone. Sabres back to full strength. They'll try to mount a late comeback. Stafford across for Ott. Couldn't reach it, but now it's taken by Molson to Stafford. Checked by Hall, who was able to nudge it ahead to Downey. Steve Downey in across the line. Just sails one into Miller. He'll take that one and hang it. 5:49 to play here in the third. By Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Wells Fargo. If you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. 5:49 to play. You a glass half full or half empty guy, Jonesy?
I am half full.
All right, well, then the Flyers are 3 points out of a playoff spot in the Metropolitan Division. 6 teams from New Jersey down to Philadelphia separated by just 3 points. So while the Flyers are still in last place, and that could change, by the way, with a victory here tonight, they are that close to being in a playoff position.
It's incredible, isn't it? The parity. JR talked about that earlier with us as well. And if you look at the West, it's incredible how tight it is over there. Colorado started the season 12-1, and they're in 8th right now in the Western Conference. 12-1 to start.
They're still off to one of the best starts in franchise history, and they are barely in the playoffs.
Amazing.
There's Steven lobbing one that's gloved by Miller. He'll hang on.
And when play started tonight, the Boston Bruins, who are leading the Eastern Conference, would have been in 9th in the Western Conference.
Right. And the reason they went to is we have some more talk here, and it's between a couple of guys. There's Weber and Steve Downey, and Coatsy was eavesdropping on a conversation between Downey and Steve Ott during one of the breaks, weren't you, Coatsy?
Yeah, he said, listen, they were talking about what Ott did along the wall, and he just said, hey, I'm the best in the business.
At stirring the pot. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
I cleaned it up a little bit.
Well, yes. We have to do it.
He gets away with a little more that he's got the C on his jersey now, too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of talks with the referees, and as long as he demonstrates to them that he's a good guy, often they'll give you the benefit on a couple of those calls.
5:17 remaining in the third. Here's Hartnell with a shot. Easy save for Miller. Hartnell goes in after it. it to the other quarter. Gets it out to the point to Luke Shen, but he is unable to get the puck deep. It bounces across ice. Stafford will track it down. Stafford seems like he's been around the puck all night.
Streaky goal scorer, and the streaks have not been coming for him this season.
Brody McCormick has not been back for the Sabres in quite some time. We're just getting word now he has an upper body injury and will not return. Stafford in the middle to Adam. Luke Adam, plenty of skill, gets that shot off. He goes wide all the way out to Simmons. Wayne Simmons starts back with it. He'll chip it into the Buffalo zone. He's going to chase with Tallinder. It bounces to Braden Shen, tried to center, but it was knocked aside. All the way out toward the point. Grossman could not keep it in as Molson swept it past him, but the Flyers are in good shape to handle it as Streit is back. Mark Streit with good speed to center ice. The pass for Braden Shen, just a little bit out of his reach. Big John Scott, who's out on the ice with his team down 2 goals, 4:13 to play.
That's what happened when he was out against the Boston Bruins. He hit Louis Eriksson and got himself a 7-game suspension.
Well, he's out there wrestling Mark Streit to the ground. Got away with that. The shot from Tallinder is snared by Emery, and now Scott looks to start some trouble. Right. Well,
Mark Streit going right after the big man, too.
Nick Grossman wrapped up with Ott.
His buddy from Dallas.
Downey, there they go again. Not telling him again, I'm the best in the business at stirring the pot.
It's kind of ignored me time right now.
There you go.
Let's take a look at our Toyota turning point with the score 1-0 in the second period for the Buffalo Sabres. Watch. All of a sudden, Steve Downey's going to find Matt Reed right in the slot area, and all of a sudden it's 1-1. Then where did the Buffalo Sabres go? They left Matt Reed all by himself. He goes one-on-one with Miller, and all of a sudden it's 2-1, and that is our Toyota turning point on the strength of Matt Reed's 2 goals.
That's a great play by Reed, though. So many players would have really acted quickly, waited, got himself in a better position, and was able to beat Miller.
We saw Lecavalier with a similar opportunity early in the game, and Miller found a way to outweight Vinny, and Vinny eventually put it off the back as Miller made an outstanding save to start.
Miller watches now as Hall, his former teammate at Michigan State, moves in the shot, and the save made by Miller. Hall then crashes the net.
It's the right play to make. When you're up by 2 goals in the third period, you want pucks to the net. You want to force offensive zone faceoffs, and Adam Hall continues to make smart reads.
Flyers Wives Carnival is Sunday, January the 26th at the Wells Fargo Center. Your last, or say a good chance to meet your favorite players. Not your last chance, but a good chance. Also meet some alumni members, play games, take home great prizes. Tickets on sale now at FlyersCarnival.com. Always a great time. And you saw Hall take that shot on Miller, and I said they're teammates and they still keep in touch. And I asked Adam Hall, how do you think Ryan Miller's handling all that he has on his plate this year? Gustafsson moves in here and from the angle, sends it through, and there is a shot from the angle by Hall that ends up off the outside of the net, and then the puck hits the safety netting. And he basically said he probably has no problem with it at all, because once you get to the arena, he is in such a zone.
Right.
So he's a very laid-back guy off the ice and into charitable events, and a great guy. But once he gets to the rink, all business. He says, I don't think he has any problem worrying about his contract or the Olympics or any of that.
He's played that way here tonight as the Flyers fired a ton of pucks his way, a season high for the Flyers. 85 shots over the last 2 games as they continue to generate chances here late in the game.
44 here tonight now. We look at our Mazda top shelf performers of this night. Ad Reed, of course, leading the way for the Flyers with his 2 goals. Lecavalier, his team leading 8, and Ray Emery has made 26 saves. Myers, the goal for the Sabres, and as we've mentioned, Ryan Miller has been very good. Billy Leno getting an assist for Buffalo. 3:15 remaining as Ad Reed down the bench. And we're going to do this over again as Ott tumbled to the ice on that faceoff.
Well, Steve Barton said, it's my fault. My fault. I didn't get everybody set. I dropped it probably a little bit too quickly, and as a result, he said, everybody all come back, and we're going to start this over again.
And the Sabres gain control as Myers takes it around behind the net. Move it ahead for Scott. It's 2 big boys collaborating, and now Ott a shot that Emery struggles with. Makes the save, but lost control of it. Now, Sabre player decked in front. Simmons has lost his stick as the Sabres will play it around to the other side. Simmons without his stick will glove it out of the zone. Got to be creative. He gets a stick from the bench now. His stick still laying in the circle to the right of Ray Emery as Myers runs it up through center. Right wing dish to Scott, who's knocked out on the ice. Couturier ahead. Simmons gets it past Ehrhoff, but Scott will rotate back and get to it. He's played 191 NHL games. He has 1 goal. He's out there with your team down 2.5 minutes to go in the game.
Teddy thinks he can unlock him, I guess.
Must be. There's a shot by Hodgson, goes off of Reed. Ennis giving some rough treatment. And the puck controlled by Timonen around for Downey. They try to keep that away from Ehrhoff. And Matt Reed back deep in his zone again. Sabres trying to get to the puck here. Certainly active on the forecheck as they need to equalize things. The Flyers doing a pretty good job of keeping it away from them at this point. Downey takes the hit from Ennis. Moves up with a puck but couldn't clear. It's kept in. Quick shot. Bain goes off and skate to the corner. Pass met for Hodgson behind the net, hit the referee. Still kept in. McBain's offering, knocked down by Reed. Starks back with it. Matt Reed with 2 on the night. Takes a look, gets to Couturier for the shot. Juggling save made by Miller. And he'll hang on. 45 shots now for the Flyers.
Let's take a look at our Bud Light player of the game, and Matt Reed's the guy that was just carrying the puck across the blue line. He's been all over the place. Watch this shot off of the stick of Steve Downey right into the slot area, and then all of a sudden Matt Reed's left all by himself, and he'll pick up his 5th and 6th goals of the season. He's our Bud Light player of the game, and right now, the winning goal.
He's been good in so many ways for the Flyers this year. Gustafsson. That puck to Hall. His shot was blocked, and the Sabres have it moving back. And Miller is following his team to center here. So Miller goes to the bench. Extra attacker on for Buffalo. Here's Luke Adam trying to wrap around, and Emery was able to smother that one eventually. Moment of concern there as Emery was looking for the puck.
Steve Downey, part of that line with Matt Reed and Sean Couturier, has also had an outstanding game and continues to pick up points on the season, now leading the Flyers in assists after bringing a few over with them from Colorado. There's the numbers. Downey and Giroux tied now after Giroux picked up the assist on the Vinny Lecavalier goal. And Steve Downey, a good, smart hockey player in give-and-go situations, especially in the offensive zone, has done a nice job in helping add to the Flyers' offense.
Yeah, he is now +8 on the season, +4 as a Flyer.
I like the way he's played in the 3rd period, too, with the lead. Some good decisions on entries into the offensive zone, and has really got pucks in deep, a couple towards Ryan Miller that have forced offensive zone faceoffs.
Sabres have called timeout with the opportunity to pull their goaltender.
So Sacco there. You had a look at the assistant coach for the Sabres, former Flyer, former Colorado Avalanche head coach, who was actually here to start the season, Ron Ralston, and remained through the changes.
He would know Steve Downey well from his time in Colorado.
So Ott and Hall on this faceoff. Adam Hall has been dynamite on draws here of late. 2 for 2 here tonight. 43 of his last 50 faceoffs.
Amazing. Unbelievable.
86%.
And Ott's a good faceoff man. So.
Very good. And Ott won it. So there's a rare loss for Hall. The Sabres get the puck. A shot by Stafford, cut off in front. It sits there. Another shot by Stafford, blocked, bounces around, and finally tipped to Couturier, who jams at it. Couldn't get it past McBain, but then muscling it out towards center was Hall. And the Sabres are offside as they move their way back in. Good play by Hall. He's another guy who, through this point streak for the Flyers, has contributed. We talked about the face-offs, but his penalty killing, and right there, just a smart play.
Yeah, the work along the wall was terrific. He knew that he had lost that face-off, makes up for it right there. The good push against McBain, and a good second effort forcing the Sabres to go offside.
58.8 seconds remaining in the period. That remains empty. And the Sabres will get control. And he goes off Molson's skate. Emery will play it to the corner. Coburn. Check. Couturier in there. Downey. And to maneuver that one ahead. Still loose along the wall. Coburn shoveling that one, and it goes down the ice. And they're going to call it icing.
Wow.
It's not
close.
Not did his best to make it look like he was hustling, and he got the call.
They didn't commit to calling it right away. With the hybrid icing, they can, but they did wait to see and make sure that it was going to go over the red line. It did, and the call was made.
And it gave Steve Downey and Steve Ott the opportunity to skate down the ice and have a little conversation all the way back.
Renew acquaintances yet again. Couturier and Ott on this face-off. Matt Reed is out on the ice for the Flyers. In fact, now he's going to step in and take the draw. And everybody moves, but the puck wasn't dropped. And now Ott is being told to get out of the face-off circle as the linesman, Michel Cormier, has had enough.
He was pretty aggressive in telling him to get out. I've had it. That's it.
Hodgson and Reed now. And the puck to Couturier, who will move it up but not out. Now Reed after it. The puck is hit with a high stick. Reed fires it down the ice, will miss the net. And it's icing again. 2 goals up.
Yep, he'll take it. And good aggressive play by Matt Reed to get to that loose puck. Not necessarily shooting for the net, but he was shooting to get that puck out of the zone. And the Flyers will have another defensive zone face-off. Couturier and Ott will start. Let's see how long they stay in the face-off circle.
This time they get it done, and Ott wins it cleanly back. Here's Ehrhoff to McBain for a shot blocked by Coburn. Rebound in front, loose, Emery able to snare it as Hodgson directed it toward the net. And there's Steve Ott. Hey, there's still 20 seconds remaining in the game. He's going to continue to try to get under the skin of the Flyers.
If you're wearing the C, you got to play to the end. And Steve Ott is doing that. Flyers will make a bit of a change here as Adam Hall will come out for this draw. It's on the other side for this face-off as Emery makes the save right there on Hodgson, and Ott has to go on his weaker side.
To McBain for a drive that went high and wide. Drew took that draw the puck ahead here to Hartnell, has the empty net to fire at, and he scores! Scott Hartnell into the empty net to put this one away. As it's 4-1 Philadelphia. Hartnell scores for a case of tasty cakes. And Snyder walks away as he knows his Flyers are on their way to another win.
Flyers do a good job in battling here at the end. Sabres make a push with the goaltender pulled. Scott Hartnell's able to ice this one and put it between the pipes for the empty net goal. And the Flyers end up with 4 in this one. Starting to score some goals of late.
They certainly are. And off the draw, Myers controls. But for the first time in almost 2 calendar years, the Flyers have registered points in 6 consecutive games. Now 5-0-1 over their last 6. Matt Reed pots a couple. Ray Emery solid between the pipes. Flyers win it 4-1 over the Sabres. And depending on what happens elsewhere, look to climb in those Metropolitan Division standings. Good goaltending again for the Flyers. That's been a constant all year.
It really has. And Emery picks up back-to-back wins. He had the big win against the Pittsburgh Penguins where he stopped 30 of 31. He stops 29 of 30 in this one and backstops the club to a win here at home.
Well, the Flyers have closed out this homestand and try to make it a clean sweep as they welcome the New York Islanders to town on Saturday. Our coverage begins with Flyers pregame live at 6:30. Here tonight, Sabres came to town, first meeting of the season between these two teams. Physical affair at times. Flyers get the victory and keep their roll going. For the entire crew, as well as my partners Keith Jones and Steve Coates, I'm Jim Jackson. Good night from the Wells Fargo Center. Stay tuned for Flyers postgame live presented by McDonald's.